Hey, this is BTrades coming to you on Tuesday, February 3rd with another trade recap. We caught a nice short today off the rejection off that big seller at 70.15. Price has been unable to breach that level back since the pre-market on January 13th, and we got a big dump today after the first 5-minute candle kind of wicked above. We're going to jump into the charts right now and check it out. Okay, so we opened right here. This is the first candle. We had a gap up, and in the pre-market analysis, I said that I would be waiting until 10. And again, as long as we're above the cloud, I'm looking for longs. If we're below the cloud, I'm looking for shorts. So this is a really good filter, this 10 a.m. filter for staying out of trouble. Because oftentimes the first move is manipulation. Not every time though, but at least probably I would say half the time. So like yesterday we did open bullish and we pumped all day. But today you can see we did push up and we barely breached um, the high from yesterday, the high of day. And if you were just going on momentum and entering in that first 5-minute candle, you'd probably go long and um, price never comes back here. And we actually got a big rejection. And then we went through yesterday's value area right through here, which I had called in the pre-market analysis. I had recognized between that 68.91.25 and 70.12.75. And I said if price leaves this area and returns, look for it to traverse all the way through to the other side, which it did exactly that. But again, I'm not taking that trade because it's before 10. And there was supposed to be news this morning, but it was canceled due to the government shutdown. So we didn't get a red folder drop, but there is always volatility injected at 10 a.m. During this time of year. After daylight savings, that's going to shift to 11, that gold fix in Europe, since they don't do daylight savings. Um, so as we were waiting here, there was this inefficiency formed on this impulsive move that went through the cloud, and then we retraced, and then we started chopping around down here. And Nahom and I and a few other people in the voice room were started to discuss the idea of price returning to mean. And we were looking at this fair value gap because at the time VWAP was there, and then this was also represented a discount zone of this move. But as price was moving down, VWAP started moving down, and also that 50% started moving down as well. So actually, when we got this candle here at 10:55, which was actually an hour after this one was 9:55, so an hour after we discussed the move is when we actually took our entry. So this wick was actually VWAP, and you can see we're almost touching the cloud as well. And we took a short here, just aiming for this level. And as you can see, we could have probably held it for much longer, but there was a bit of a reaction right here back up. And, really all you need is one level to level trade per day, and you're going to be very profitable, especially because this trade, you're going to get a 4.5 to 1. So you're risking $2.75 to make uh, $12.50 of movement on ES. So I mean, if you would have held, obviously, like in hindsight, it's easy to say like, oh, now it's a 20 to 1, but no need to be greedy. We take our positions. Also, there was the 20-day moving average from SPY right here, so that was a potential bounce, and we did need another injection of volume to get through that. Uh, but again, this is very similar to yesterday. This patience idea of so don't get caught in the morning manipulation, avoid the first 30 minutes, and then start to formulate your trade idea well in advance of when you take the trade. So this happened 1 hour before we actually entered. Um, so that is going to keep you from entering moves impulsively, as I said yesterday. And you're going to find these high probability setups that are going to give you great risk to reward. And that's another thing that I talked about in the voice today is that VWAP kind of tells you who's in control. So you don't really want to be long above VWAP. So inherently, the best short is from VWAP. So if you have impulsive move down and you retrace to VWAP, that is the ideal short. And if you look yesterday, it was exactly the opposite. Impulsive move up and then retrace to VWAP down for a long. And that's what actually these two entries were based on yesterday. So I definitely recommend utilizing VWAP. I think it's an institutional level. So it's not like a lot of the other indicators. This is actually something that institutions use to judge the value of a day. And if they are interested in building a long position, they want to accumulate as many shares as they can below VWAP. And if they're interested in accumulating a short position, they want as many shares as they can get above VWAP. So that's kind of what this consolidation up here is building. And even yesterday's consolidation at the top below this big seller, I was skeptical of longs yesterday, and I definitely didn't want to hold past that. But this is just accumulating a short position. And now maybe at some point they're going to be taking profit and we're going to come back up and do it again. Just a nice short. Again, one trade a day is all you need. Sometimes you don't even have to trade every day. Remember, I always say being a day trader doesn't mean you have to trade every day. So that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day. Aloha.